catching up. Alright, so yeah, Dan has a score of 3, and then each of the others. Tommy has a score of 2, and Linda has a score of 1. So, if I were to balance it out, I'd have to main with Linda, and then compromise with Tweety. I admit, I'm taking a bit of a prejudice because I'm thinking overarchingly. Oh.
Sorry it's been so long since I've written. Things have been hectic around here, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get things back on track.
Your voice is
I don't really
quiet.
want to get into it, but we're getting pulled in a lot of different directions right now. Nothing hurtful, just competing priorities, I guess. Although those can get worse and worse over time. I mean, Dan and I, before we got up here, you know we'd started to drift. Look at that. I said I didn't want to get into it, and I did anyway. Enough about me. Please tell me you're doing well, and I hope this doesn't stress you out too much. I promise to write a happier letter soon.
It's really hard
always
being friendly for the friends, but yeah, alright. So we got Linda's clues. We got Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan comprehension, but his verbal and visual abilities are excellent, which is why he's always drawing pictures instead of writing notes. That said, he won't catch up on his own. He will need support from both of you. I recommend that you do the attached exercises with Tommy every weekday morning for 1 or 2 hours. He'll be unable to focus exclusively on these for 2 straight hours, so he'll need to take intermittent breaks, but use your judgment and stay with it as long as you feel he can stay engaged. I suggest you do your sessions in the morning before he tires himself out and becomes distracted. I feel confident that with the support of... The irony is that the child of a novelist is in fact not very good at reading. Oh, I guess it is more important than I was valuing it earlier. But yeah, right, like I was saying before, that's right, I reclaimed that strain of thought. I think that Dan's thing is the most important, because it seems to be what's kind of bringing everyone down. Ooh. And secondarily to that, it's also, you know, the breadwinning ideas, weekly outing, where, Tuesday movie night. Oh yeah, that'd be good. Tuesday movie sounds great. Alright, so Linda's trying to pull this family together.
Dan and I had a good conversation today. Well, we'll have to wait and see if it was actually good, but I feel like I got my point across.
Family time's important. You haven't had any since I got here.
I've been getting a little frayed on the little things lately, and it reminded me of something Anne said one time. Love is a behavior, not an emotion.
That is an interesting comment.
If something's important to you, you show it with your actions. We weren't doing so well with that before we got here. I told Dan my idea. I want us all to eat together at 7 every night, with family time after that. Tommy's wiped out by 8:30, so we'd get a solid hour and a half as a family, and then Dan and I could have the rest of the night to ourselves. And I think 7's a reasonable request. The rest of the working world knocks off at 5, right? It doesn't really matter what we do with the time, just that we spend it together. It's easy to make excuses when you've got a lot going on, which is why patterns help. I hope he feels the same way.
She has a good concept. I don't know about an hour and a half. That's... I'm evaluating it, but really I already found all of everything. I don't even need... Oh, wait, no, I need to search your memories, yeah. Oh, Dan, you in there? Tommy, boy! Tommy, where you going? Tommy, you gotta tell me your precious secrets that I can...
Will it make me smarter? Will it make me smarter?
Honey, listen to me. You are smart.
Oh, this worry is dumb. That's upsetting. Kids don't like feeling dumb. Oh wait, no, I should actually follow the noise instead of just dicking around. It sounds like it's coming from downstairs. It sounds like it's coming from in here? Isn't that the same picture you were drawing last time? Oh, memories are a separate category, I see. Yeah. Alright, so that's what Tommy wants. Ah! Stevie and Kevin get it. Again with the one night? I like the things shine. Oh, perfect schedule, aka the single unnatural. Decompressive, that's perfect. That fits into the schedule. Wrenches. Tommy's 11, off at 7. This seems like your idea synergizes with Linda's. I think that Linda is the one who's going to get what she wants here.
This letter might come from out of the blue, but do you remember when you told me about Bobby falling behind on reading? Looks like we're there with Tommy. We knew he was struggling when we came up here, but his teacher gave us a list of books for him to work on over the break and said we should see how he responded to the change in environment. She gave us a few sample readings and told us to keep an eye on how he was grasping the concepts. Tommy still isn't there, and long story short, the pediatrician in town knows a specialist who gave us some exercises to try. They seem pretty straightforward, but I wanted to write and see if you had any tips that helped you guys with Bobby. Damn. Just realized I didn't even ask how you've been. I'm sorry. This stuff is just a lot to think about. Dan.
And you got a book here. Register. Inside, the books of summer. Oh, so we just got a magazine. I hear footsteps. Yeah, look at how much I'm avoiding the, search the house for more clues for Tommy.
Hey, bud.
Hey, Dad.
Aha, so now I know your location. It's downstairs. Lonnie's learns letters. Ooh. How old is Tommy exactly? Because that does not look like sophisticated reading material. That's not the Divine Comedy.
Time. This would all be easier if I didn't ever have to sleep.
Oh, I know that
Last
feeling.
night after Linda went to bed, I spent some time, there's that word again, trying to make everything fit.
You can tell he's a novelist.
The math is
He's
simple.
a little dramatic, just the way
Doesn't
he
work.
does things.
Technically, I could still get in 8 hours, assuming I don't eat or need to do off a switch. It takes time to crawl out of my head and start functioning like a normal person again. And I can't just split it up into smaller chunks. Sometimes it takes an hour of false starts just to get going on anything usable, and stopping just sends the whole process right back to square one. Something's got to give.
This is real writer problems. This is what we're talking about. This is very novelist. Alright, so what does Han want? I gotta check the memories. The adults' memories. Oh, there you are. Hey there, buddy. Let's see if you can help me out here, bro. Yeah, there you are.
Tynan and Kelly left this morning. I wish they could have stayed a little longer, but it was great having them. It felt just like college again. Fishing, having a few beers, talking about how we're going to conquer the world.
Yeah, so
Working through some issues on his book even gave me an idea for how to fix the logjam in Act 2. Funny how creativity works sometimes. I've got to remember to put him in the acknowledgements.
Well, it sounds like you tried to give him credit before. Oh well, acknowledgements. It's good. He's a novelist. He's an architect! Alright, so where else am I going? These are Dan's memories. It's going to be in their writing office. Mind if I play with your computer box?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have snapped. I just...
Whoa.
Okay, well, that's not good. New rule, don't disturb me if the door to my office is closed. No. That's not a good policy. Alright, where did Linda even go?
Hi, Mom.
She's at... Oh, there she is. Taking mad. Oh, wow, so Tommy's little. Tommy is a little kid. Linda, excuse me. You can make time. I'm with you on this one. Family is important, and he needs to de-stress. He can't become the shut-off guy.
We barely talked yesterday.
Wow, you're right. I guess we've just been so busy.
Yeah, see, that's not good. That's not what a family needs. There's been nothing of interest in the bathroom. The bathroom is literally just there so you don't go, why isn't there a bathroom?
I'm sure Mom and Dad would have liked to have been the only visitors in the house, but they understood the bad timing and were glad to see us at all. With so much going on, I didn't get a chance
I don't
to
understand
talk
what
to
was
her
going
about
on. They
things
went
with
out
Dad.
fishing. You were
I
alone in
need
the...
to try and call or write when they get back home. I hope they're okay.
They're probably great. It's fine. Everything's fine. Found everything in his memory. Family should have dinner around the table every night. She is right. Don't mind me. I am very spooky. Okay. What's Tommy's last thing? Yeah, that's good. It's good. She's enjoying the TVs. Enjoying the sitcoms. The stories. Out with the stories. Boy, this has got to be running long by now. I have no time. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, there. Ooh. Oh, he was really sad. Wait, that's... Oh, he hates the book. He hates the book. He's mad about feel what's right. Because I think that family time is the most important time. We're gonna do the family times. You have plenty to work on with your book, dude. You can handle it. You're gonna do family times, and then secondarily, you're gonna work on making your son able to read. Is this the table? Oh no, the table. Linda's resolution for the chapter, yeah. And now I get a little more of my backstory, and we're gonna see how this chapter pans out, and then we'll call it a day. Call it an episode. Oh, good, they put that in plain sight for a change. From the desk of Harold Baxter, January 22nd, 1948. Final entry before I depart, the bank would no longer prevent me from purchasing the house due to the inherent conflict of interest, but given its history of frequent ownership changes, I feel confident the mortgage department will be happy to have the property off their hands. I believe I can set up a trust or perhaps a shell company and convince Mr. Lowry that we must part with the property for less than market value. I feel certain I can appeal to his conservative nature. I believe it will prove to be a shrewd investment as a rental property, and I think I now understand why people do not stay for extended periods. I find myself unable to describe the feeling precisely, but in my time here, I found my mind drifting in strange ways, as if it's not always my own. But the natural beauty is undeniable. Perhaps shorter visits are wise use of the property. Yes, I believe that is a fine idea indeed. That's interesting, though, because all this time you're just ghosting around, you sort of lose your sense of self, of what you are. And then it's just like, oh, that's right, our spooky ghost promised help. Don't worry, they're gonna help. They're gonna help, because we're gonna get your book. We're gonna get the book and solve the problem that you don't like the reads. Oh, what's this? Diary of Claire Bradford, 1961. We're here, so I'm gonna feel more excited. How long have I been here? It's supposed to be fun, just Roger. Uh-oh. It's a similar situation. Big house in the ocean for the week. Sad to see there's no piano here, but I suppose... No, well, you gotta keep doing your interests. I guess maybe being alone with Roger that long is what's making me feel nervous. It's my fiancé. I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with him. I shouldn't worry to spend the week. Everyone has second thoughts before they get married, right? It's making me increasingly apprehensive about my nature. It's like in the book, we'll choose Tommy's compromise. That's correct. I'm sorry, Dan, but you can't be a dick owner. You're just gonna box yourself in. You gotta have some stretching. Linda was glad when Dan committed to family dinners each night, and she made sure to give Tommy extra help in the mornings. Being able to count on quality family time every night, knowing she and Dan would have dedicated time together, gave their relationship a sense of stability to help them face other challenges. There you go, that is an overarching good thing. And Dan found a way to be there for the first half of Tommy's morning exercises. It was hard for Tommy to understand why his father, a writer, couldn't be there for the whole session, but he learned to accept what his father was willing to offer. That sounds fine. You need lots of writing times to write. Dan couldn't figure out a way to please everyone and still make room for the time and focus he needed to write. He was able to compromise and fit in one unbroken session each day. That's work. The lack of focus came in through his work. Oh. Well, I don't know, you're still doing something. This is still a compromised thing. And that's how the Kaplan's first month, the house on the cliff, came to an end. Well, perfect ending point then. So they come back, do they leave? Let's go. Dan sent a work in progress to his agent, who was glad to see that Dan had gotten back on track. They were both hopeful that Dan could maintain his focus and write a book that delivered on the promise of his work so far. So it's fine, it's fine. You were a little unfocused. It's good, everything's pretty fine. I was able to make that work. A few nights later, Dan and Linda got a babysitter and drove into town for a date. They spent more time than they would have been on a bottle of wine. Had such a good time they didn't notice everyone else leaving. When they finally realized they were the last one in the restaurant, they apologized and left after giving the waitress a generous tip. So expensive, but hey, that's important. That's important wifing time. Sioux saw a settlement and got to work. Dan and Tommy had fun digging around in the dirt, getting messy and looking for artifacts. They found a handful of arrowheads, which Tommy proudly showed his mother when they got home. I feel like I've done the right thing, even though, to be fair, I kind of broke it down into a numerical thing. But these would have been my decisions anyway, without the numerical thing. Alright, so everything sounds generally positive. Nobody's gonna get fired, they're not gonna get divorced. Tommy's still a little bad at the reading, but he'll be fine. He'll warm up to it. And they're gonna show me this next time. The show. You're probably thinking to yourself. The Novelist. I look forward to entertaining you in the next video. Bye bye, everybody.